Hi, welcome to Sugar Free. This is the daily reading for Wednesday, the 7th of October 2020. Hope your week's going nicely. Thank you for coming again. 3, 4, 5 maybe card, Major Arcana reading. See how I feel. Let's see what we can see for Wednesday, 7th of October. Okay. Right. Okay. Right, a bit of Major League waiting around. Lack of forward motion, lack again of something cycling out. We've got Judgment in the reverse. So the time of clear out, time of reckoning, is not upon us, or it might already have happened. But I'm getting the feeling that is not the case, because we also have Death in the reverse again. So Judgment is like a kind of super death. The Death card, number 13, is when we sorry, I hope you don't mind me drinking my tea. Just been out for a bit of a blustery walk. Really beautiful, like massive clouds tanking over from the west, and then bright autumn sunshine shining through at a low angle onto the trees. Just absolutely lovely. So a bit dreamy, enjoying a bit of hot tea. Yeah. The Death card is when we realise a fair way in to the cycle that essentially no matter what we do, everything is going to at some point be subject to the force of sweeping away, and the force of and it's completely impersonal, this force. Death is impersonal. It's the only thing that we can all be guaranteed we will all experience sooner or later. So there's nothing kind of karmic about it. There really isn't. It's the ultimate karma-less happening. And I mean, the word karma actually means action. But you know, unless we take our own lives, there's no action involved. It's simply something that happens. And the Death card represents that realization that sooner or later it's going to come. Something will come, and no matter what we've done, no matter how hard we've worked. Sorry, it's a bit gloomy, but in another way, it's really quite liberating if you think about it. No matter how hard we work. Can you see there? Yeah, look, there we go. We've got tools, we've got weapons, we've got jewels, we've got the trappings of power, we've got knowledge in the book. Only the artist's palette, the creative spirit, escapes. And that is really worth noting. And I guess, you know, it comes at number 13, not at the end. It's pretty much bang in the middle. A little bit further than in the middle, obviously, in a 21 card cycle. Yeah, it doesn't come at the end because there's still further to go, and the artist's palette escaping the scythe shows that we can pick up and start again when this impersonal force has come and swept it all away. So we've got it today in the reverse. We've also got Judgment in the reverse. Now, Judgment obviously comes after death. It's card number 20. It's the second to last card, penultimate card before the world. And in the Judgment card, the death that we've gone through here in the death card is because we then, as I say, we go on, we continue nonetheless after this. We continue. And by the time we get to the Judgment card, number 20, we're in a place where all the things we've done, including having picked up, dusted ourselves off and carried on after the visitation of this impersonal destruction, let's call it what it is. Different from the Tower, because with the Tower there's a personal element to it. But in the Judgment card, all the things we've done, all of it, right from card 0, all the actions we've taken, all the karma we've accrued, all the choices we've made, and all the causes and all the effects, and what we've done with all that is hiked out for a kind of grand cleaning, a grand kind of, call it what it is, judgment, a kind of a reckoning of everything. But both of these cards today in the reverse. Now, it's in the reverse around this dude, the Hierophant. So this is about, and he's in the upright today, this is about worldly ideas of power. It's about it's not worldly power as in the emperor, like real authority. This is spiritual authority, whereas the emperor is temporal and kind of, worldly and practical authority. This is spiritual authority. And this is where we've moved from the high priestess, that is all internal and unseen and kind of self-contained within the flow of that spiritual energy. Here in the Hierophant, it's come out into the world to be reified, structured, and put into a hierarchy, Hierophant. So this is about rulers, but rulers more up here than out there. It's the taking of what's in here and the structuring of it out in the world. And he's still here. He's still here. And we also have, in the upright, funnily enough, the Hanged Man. And accompanying this, the last card I've pulled, or the last one I'm going to show, the last one that came out was the Hanged Man, is the Strength card. So both in the Hanged Man and the Strength card, there's an invitation here to take ourselves in hand and suspend judgment, because it's not the time. And this is going to be hard. We're going to want a kind of a conclusion. We're going to want something to bottom out. We're going to want something to cycle out. We're going to want something to come to the fullness of its implications and of its effects. It's not in this spread. It's not happening. And that wanting, that kind of frustration, is represented here by the lion that is being overcome with maturity. I mean, in Freudian terms, the lion represents the id, the inner rampant toddler, and the lady, I would just like to point out, she happens not to be wearing any shoes, which is rather wonderful. But other than that, she's the force of civilization, the force of maturity and adult. The adult, the ego and the superego working together and we can tell there's a superego there because we've got a crown, working together to civilize this animal in a very, very measured and kind and courageous way. So the Hierophant is hanging on, hanging on. There's a lot of change around it. I mean, the Judgment and Death, very powerful cards of the ending of something. Both the impersonal ending of the Death card and the kind of the absolute reckoning of the Judgment card, both of them in the reverse today. And we're just going to have to wait and see what happens, and control our impatience and our sense that this should be coming to some sort of point, some sort of crux of breaking into a new era. Not yet. It's coming, clearly, but not yet. And the reason I know it's coming is because we've got these two very, very powerful cards of change on the table here: Death and Judgment, both in the reverse. It's not for yet, and that's really going to get our goat. So the best place to be is upside down, up a tree. All right. If none of this is making any sense, I don't mean this reading, I hope it's making some sense, but if none of the situation is making any sense and you cannot see why something is not working through or isn't at a point of conclusion, take yourself out of the situation with patience and, again, with creativity, because when you're hanging upside down like this, you get a whole new view of the situation. On a temporary basis, can be extremely illuminating. And I know that in the Rider-Waite, the Hanged Man has a halo around the head, so there's real illumination to be got, real enlightenment to be got from hanging upside down with all the blood rushing to your head, looking around, going, "Wow, everything looks different, like from here." Might be worth experimenting with that in order to aid you in overcoming frustration and impatience at something not cycling out. Okay, there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Good luck with that, and leave me a comment if that resonates, and I'll see you again for another reading soon. Thank you for watching. Gotta do it. Namaste.